The Sultan Spider Silk Bridge. Once upon a time, in the lush forests of Central Africa, there was a small village called Bamun. The villagers there were hardworking and kind-hearted, living close to nature and relying on the land and rivers around them. Among them was a wise old weaver named Ao and a curious young girl named Nia. Ao had learned the art of weaving from his ancestors, and Nia loved to watch him create beautiful fabrics from simple threads. One rainy season, the skies opened up and poured for days. The river near Bamoon swelled and rose higher and higher until it overflowed its banks. Soon, a wide muddy moat surrounded the village, trapping everyone inside. The villagers tried to find ways to cross, but the water was too deep and the bridges they knew were washed away. As days went by, the villagers grew worried. How could they get food, medicines, or even visit their neighbors? That's when Eo remembered something special about the spiders he'd seen in the forest. He'd noticed how they spun their silk into intricate, strong webs that could span gaps and hold weight. Now, spiders are tiny, but their silk is incredibly strong and flexible, much stronger than steel of the same thickness. Ao shared his idea with the villagers. What if they could imitate the pattern and strength of the spider silk to create a bridge? It was a bold idea, but the villagers trusted Ao's wisdom. They started by observing the spider webs closely, noticing how the silk threads formed a pattern of triangles and zigzags, something called biomimicry, where nature teaches us how to solve problems. The villagers collected natural fibers and worked together, weaving in the same patterns they saw in the spider webs. Soon, they created a long, sturdy bridge made of woven fibers that mimicked the spider's silk pattern. They draped it across the mice moat, and with some teamwork, everyone was able to cross safely. It was a miracle. From then on, each rainy season, the village declared a special Weave Day when everyone would come together to weave and prepare for the floods. They learned that by observing nature and mimicking its solutions, they could be ready for anything. It wasn't just about crossing a muddy moat. It became a lesson in preparedness and cleverness, inspired by the tiny but mighty spider. And here's a fun idea for you. Next time you're outside, take a moment to look at the patterns in leaves, spider webs, or even the way birds build their nest. Try drawing or imagining your own nature-inspired solutions. Maybe a bridge made of sticks or a cozy hiding spot for your toys. Nature has plenty of ideas if we only take the time to observe. So, what's the moral of this story? Sometimes, the smallest creatures can teach us the biggest lessons. Whether it's a spider weaving its web or a child dreaming up a new way to solve a problem, the key is to listen, learn, and be ready to create something extraordinary from what we see around us. And that, my friends, is the story of the Sultan Spider Silk Bridge. Proof that with a little creativity and respect for nature, we can overcome even the biggest floods.